Right, looks like we're up and running anyway. Welcome, guys. Let's just see who's out on track. So, round 6 of season 6. All the sixes today. Today we're in Kyalami, which used to be an F1 track. It is not very easy to overtake here. So I've set a challenge out to everyone to try and make this stream a bit more entertaining than the last time I commentated around Kyalami. Let's go through the standings. We've got 4.5 minutes to go as Morrow does a nice little spin for us. So in P1 is the man who just span. He's got 270 points now. He's 6 points ahead of Zico, who's down in 9th in practice. So Zico's beaten Morrow in every single race apart from last week where Morrow won and Zico came second, and round 2 where Morrow got his other podium, a 3rd place, and Zico actually DNF'd that one. So without that DNF, Zico would probably be in the lead of the championship right now. 3rd place we got Davey. He's dropped down from 1st to 3rd with his no-show last week. He's on 244 points. That is 26 away from Morrow, so he's not too far behind. That could easily be overcome even today. Freivogel's in 4th place on 237, Scanlan's in 5th on 230, and then the other people with over 200 points so far, Tidswell, Cabras, and Schmidt, who won in Nordschleife but hasn't finished in the top 10 in any of the other races this season. So let's see what he can do in Kyalami, if he's here. He might not be, I don't see his name actually. BX has surrendered all of his points up until last week. He's in his 2nd week of the BMW, which what did he do last week in the end? I think he got a really good result. It was a P3, a podium. So he's only on 55 points now, down in 22nd in the standings with that. A few other people have lost their points as well. Coldman's down to 0 after his 9th place in the McLaren last week. He switched to the Mustang. Anyone else who's actually racing, who's changed the car? Capel's changed his car, has he? He's changed to the Porsche now. Okay. So I'll be interested to see how he does. He's still in last place, just like last week, though. So it's not working out too well at the moment. Maybe he'll set a quick lap in qualifying. Penalty points. There's a few penalty points on the board as well in the top 20 in the standings. Omoda's got a 5-point penalty, Howland's got 10, Schmidt's got 15, and Davies got 5 as well. So that just gets knocked off the total points that they get. That's how it works. If you get reported to the stewards and you get a penalty, you actually get points knocked off of the standings as opposed to time added to your final result. So we only got 1.5 minutes left before qualifying gets underway. I'm trying to remember who actually won Kyalami last time. It was probably Davey. It was in the period of Davey's domination where he won 2 titles on the trot. The Morrow won 2 titles on the trot. We got Twadok. He's only raced once, and he's won that race quite comfortably a couple of races ago. So he's back, and he's back on top again by 0.6 of a second quicker than everyone else. Lap time 1 minute 40.5, so that's what you have to keep in mind in qualifying. If we're dipping into the 40s, you're going to be right at the front end. Let's see who's setting laps. Popov, Erotikos, is down in 15th at the moment. He's put in some really good qualifying times in the top 10 so far this season. Doesn't improve that time. But again, it is just practice. These are the last laps everyone's going to be doing. Stratton down in 19th. Nearly lost his car there on the exit of that corner. Taylor, who people might know as Jensen, he races in esports in GT. Very, very quick driver there. He's 8th place in the BMW. I think he said he might start at the back and give us some entertainment. So if he does that, we'll be following him a lot on the stream, seeing how he can make his way through the pack. 42.2 is the best lap in Split 2. That is quite a big gap. So what would a 42.2 be here? That would be 1.7. So he'd be down in the fastest in split 2 would be about 16th place here for practice. BX slower than split 2. Right, car number 23, who's that? They will be the last person to set a lap. It's Eroticos again. No, he's reset to pits. So we're just waiting on Steenstra. Race winner in round 1 has 2.2 seconds to try and find in qualifying to get himself to the top end of the grid. Oh. Not like that. So let's find Scanlon. Scanlon is always the first out of the pits. Where is he actually? There he is in 9th place. So let's see if that happens this time.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Oh, yeah, look, everyone's off. It looks like one of the ART cars is out in front. Who is that? Oh no, it's Eroticos. Eroticos in the McLaren, first one on the track. Scanlon just completely cuts out of the pit lane. I think that's allowed now. As long as you're not causing a dangerous incident. It used to be penalised, but it was a lot of work for people to go through everyone's pit lane exits to make sure they were all behaving. So yeah, Eroticos at the front of the pack as everyone started their outlaps. You can see on the little mini-map on the bottom right that everyone is showing it as blue. So blue means that you're not on an official lap, and grey, for some reason Scanlon's showing as grey, but he's not obviously yet. Grey means that you're on a timed lap or a valid lap. You can see car 115 is going really slow. That's Zico. What's he up to? He's fiddling about with something. Maybe Scanlon cut the pit lane. It thinks he's on a valid lap. I don't know. Ooh, it's all bunching up in this little mid-pack here. We've got Eroticos first, Scanlon second in the order. I'm not sure who's next. Taylor's just at the back of the pack. Ah, Eroticos. I think he's asked to be on the ART team and they've told him no. So anyway, here he comes round in the final corner. Looks like the last person out of the pits is BX. He's got plenty of space in front of him, as does Turnier a little bit further ahead. Looks like Zico's gone off again. Let's just see what's... Oh, that's not good. Remember, he's P2 in the standings. But yeah, let's give Eroticos his lap. He is the first one on a hot lap now. Like I said, he's good at qualifying in the top 10. Didn't look top 10 worthy in practice there. Look at that wide entry through the corner that him and Scanlon took. The third car in that train, who is Weston, took a much tighter line through it. So I'm not sure what the quicker option is. They could have just gone wide. Everyone's going really slow. You can see in the minimap, everyone is queuing up to form a bit of a gap. Car number 32 just went completely yellow. I don't know who that is. Is there a 32? 115. That's Zico again. No, it's just because they're going at a snail's pace. Bringing out the full yellow flags here. So it looks all neat and tidy so far for Eroticos. Little slide on the exit of that corner there. Bit of a smoother exit for Scanlon. Looks like somehow Peter's actually set a lap time, a 2:03. I don't think that's an accurate one. Something weird's going on with the timing. Because that's obviously very slow, so it doesn't matter. Everyone will beat that time. Oh, look at the power slide through there for Eroticos. Looked quick. I don't know if that'll have cost him a couple of tenths. Now, final corner, you can take a really aggressive exit there and take as much as the curb as you can. So Rotikos is going to cross line with a 42, and Scanlon is going to do a 42 as well. Remember, we're looking for 40s to be right at the top, so those are not the best times. Morrow goes on a 41.8, so that's a solid banker for him. Twadok's already in the 40s, a 40.8 for him. Then we got Freivogel's the next person to come to the finish line, and he's going to pop himself into 4th place. And Regnix is going to be the next one. There's a big gap between Twadok and the rest. Regnix up into 5th now. I think it's Stratton next. Stratton went up into 8th. And Andy Cabras, let's see if he can get himself back into the top 10. He's not been right at the front too often this season. Up into 6th though, that's a solid start. Now his brother's going to be crossing the line. Freddie is up into 5th, so he beats Andy at the moment. And then Steenstra up into 10th as well. Ternier had a big gap, but I'm not sure if he was a bit hindered at the start of his lap by all those slow cars. He goes up into 3rd, so he's 1.2 off, but that's still a pretty solid lap for him. And BX is the last to set his opening lap. Everyone else invalidated their laps when they were out there. You'll see some cars flickering from grey to blue when they go over for track limits on the minimap. And BX is up into 3rd, so again, another solid lap. Next to finish a hot lap is going to be Scanlon again. We're back to the front. Looks like someone went completely off track there. That was Eroticos. He's out in the walls. There he is. You can't park there. Anyway, Scanlon's up into 3rd now. He did improve. Morrow's trying to improve. Well, he's not actually. I think he bailed out at the last corner. It's all a bit hectic at the final corner. Looks like Coldman's trying to come round and set his first valid lap. And he is in the top 10 in 9th. This might all change because there's some other drivers who are just coming through as well. Tidswell's about to set his first valid lap. Tidswell was really high in the standings until the last couple of rounds. Seventh for Tidswell. What about Capel in the Porsche? His first qualifying lap. It is good enough for 16th. Taylor just starts his lap. Andy Cabras up into 8th now. Everyone's coming through. Freddie, is he going to improve? It looks like he hasn't. Oh, yes, he does. He just gets ahead of his brother and Tidswell. Steenstra up into 9th. And what about Zico? His first full lap. I hate it when that happens. You click on his name. Where did he go? Zico got himself up into 2nd, so that's a great lap for Zico. And then Ternier up into 6th again for him. BX has invalidated this lap. Maybe he's going to come into the pit. So then we're back to Scanlon again. He's got loads of clear air now after some mistakes by other people. Manages to keep it on the rumble strips there on the exit. So he's looking for a whole second here. And he goes up into 2nd. He's still 8/10ths off, but that is a pretty solid lap. Now we've got Pole and Morrow coming to the line one after another. Pole is currently 13th. He stays 13th. Twadok actually increases his time. Maybe a little bit of slipstream from Pole at the very end. So he's in a 40.5. Still the only one in the 40s. Freivogel next. He's in P4. He always qualifies pretty well. Stays 4th. Regnix dropped all the way down to 16th. And he doesn't improve. Jensen could be battling potentially for a podium today. He is fairly new to ACC, but that's only 16th at the moment. A bit of a surprise. Paris, he was in the top 11, I think. He's up into 13th now. Peter up into 4th. That's a solid lap. Steenstra, what's he going to do? He doesn't improve. Zico stays 3rd. He doesn't improve. BX next up. In 9th at the moment. Solid. He can be right at the top with the perfect lap. He's feeling a lot more comfortable in this BMW than he did in the first 4 rounds or 5 potentially. 4 actually. So he's up into 6th now. He's found 6/10ths of a second there. Scanlon just pounding in the laps here. He's not in a rush to reset to pits. This could potentially be his last one. We've got 6 minutes left of qualifying. Up into third. Now, what can our championship leader do? He's in 8th at the moment. He won't be too happy with that. He's only 3/10 away from 2nd, where Tidswell is. And he improves to 5th. Might have been expecting a little better. What can Freivogel do? He's dropped to 8th now. Everyone is improving every single lap, winding up like a toy, and Freivogel's up into 2nd, so great lap for him. What about Weston? Not set a valid lap yet. He's up to 11th now. Tidswell trying to improve. He's been dropped down into 3rd. He stays 3rd. Very good lap for Tidswell. Now, can Cabras find more time this time round? He does. He hasn't beaten his brother, though. His brother just behind. Can he improve? From 13th up to 9th. And Peter doesn't improve. Zico, who's dropped to 5th now, after being 2nd, he goes back into 2nd place. And he's going to go back to the pits as well. So Scanlon, with a great lap there, has already been shuffled down to 5th place. He needs to improve once again. Quite a busy track now. Everyone apart from Zico is on track, and most of them are setting hot laps right now. Someone has brought out the yellow flags. That is Tidswell. He's gone back to the pits straight away though, so it was probably just a reset. So Scanlon comes to the finish line once again. Doesn't improve this time, but carries on. Coldman down in 17th now. I don't think I've seen him set more than one valid lap, so this is going to be a good improvement up to 12th. Morrow up to 2nd right behind him, so he overtakes Zico again. Freivogel in 4th, still looking pretty solid. Is this an improvement? It is now. Freivogel's 2nd, so they're starting to eat into Twardok's time here. So who have we got? We've got Weston in 8th, who's just set a lap, so he's improved. Jensen rounding the corner to take another one. Oh wow. From 19th up to 2nd in one lap. Okay, that's very, very... That's crazy, actually. He's just been overtaken by Peter. So is Twardok on track? Yeah, he is. He's got a couple of corners to go. Let's see what he can do. As it looks like Stratton's jumped up into 19th there. Paul hasn't been able to improve his time. Capel's going to be the next one. So this is the battle for the last 3 positions, these guys who've just set laps. Whilst Twardok is right behind Capel. So Capel's got at least a 2nd to find if he wants to get himself into the top 20. And he finds a 10th instead. No improvement that time for Twardok, so it is still possible. Scanlon just coming across the line. He didn't improve on his last lap. Doesn't improve again here. Morrow just looks like he's stuck slightly behind this driver in front, who I can't make out who that is. It's Coldman. So is Coldman going to improve from 14th? It doesn't look so like it. And Morrow hasn't improved either. Potentially getting in each other's way a little bit there, putting each other off. Turner's just gone up into 8th, so a good improvement there. Reg in 18th place. Rises only to 17th. Okay, Andy Cabras hasn't improved for a while. He was in the top 10, now he's 15th. Again, he's just doing lap after lap here. And it's not an improvement. Paris and... well, Paris doesn't improve. Freddie Cabras up to 11th, ahead of BX, actually. Then we got car number 33. Who's car number 33? I can never find it. It's Steenstra, isn't it? Oh, he's down in 18th. So he didn't improve. Stratton's 17th. Pole has improved up to 18th. Okay. So the times are starting to tumble. Then we got Capel, and then we've got our provisional pole sitter Twardok coming round the corner. So no improvement again for Capel. No improvement for Twardok either. So the door's being left open. If someone can do a magical lap. Scanlon improves to 6th place. Just 1 minute left, so everyone's starting their final laps now. Turner stayed 9th since his previous lap. People struggling to beat these times now. He's not improved his either. Car number 56 next, that's Tidswell. Stays 8th, but he's got one more lap to do. Reg is going to squeeze in another lap as well. He's timed it pretty well. Going to be one of the last cars over the finish line. Hasn't improved. Paris. Oh, someone span. I think that was one of the Cabrasses. Oh, Dan's come really dodgy out of that final corner as well. I think Andy's going to start his final lap. But we've also got Steenstra, who's going to be starting his final lap as well. And he... Wow, that's a good improvement to Steenstra. Up to 13th there. Now, car number 62, Jensen, is going to be the first one to see the checkered flag. Or is he? Is he going to end up in the wall? The qualifying is over, the checkered flag is out, he resets to track. The next one who is going to see the checkered flag is actually Twardok, who dives into the pits, so he wasn't improving. So the top 3 all already in the pits. Peter with a great time there, 7/10 off. I'm not sure if we spotted that. So what can Scanlon do? One last lap here. Just ahead of BX, and he's up into 2nd. Huge lap for Scanlon. BX doesn't improve himself. Morrow down in 6th, needs to find a good improvement. He needs to start in the top 5 if he wants to be getting a podium here, and he doesn't improve either. Freivogel is guaranteed a top 5. Can he find any improvement in this final lap? 4th, he's found one spot. And Reg down in 20th. 1.6 seconds away, he's pretty close, but this is not where he's used to starting, all the way at the back here. And it's not enough to rise. So we've got a couple more. We've got Andy Cabras, and we've got, well, Coldman's still on track, even though it says he's hit the checkered flag, so I don't know what's going on there. So he's in the pits, and yeah, that's it. The session has ended. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yes, that's right, Caesar's Tapos. So let's look at the times then. Twardok quickest in every sector, unsurprising. Should really gallop away with the lead. But then it's really close after that. We got Scanlon, Pitter, Freivogel, Jensen, Morrow, Zico, Tidswell, Turner, Weston, Cabras, and BX all separated by 6/10. And then the whole top 19 the whole top 20 really separated by a second. It's just Capel who's cut off at the bottom. Right, so race prediction time. Twardok's winning by about 30 seconds, I'm going to say. Could be more, actually. It's an hour-long race. Will he avoid mistakes? That's the question. Yeah, I'm going to go with 35 seconds is going to be the gap between P1 and 2. Then we're going to have, I think, Morrow's going to get up into the podium positions. Scanlon is going to be like 3rd in the end, I reckon. Zico's starting pretty low. So P1 and 2 in the standings, only starting 6th and 7th today. Scanlon is 3rd in the standings. Sorry, he's not. He's 5th in the standings and starting 2nd. 4th is Freivogel and he starts 4th. And 3rd is Davey, but he's not here again. So he's going to definitely drop out of the top 5. Alright, 30 seconds to go. Let's see what the split in cars looks like. So we got the top 6 cars are all different, which is good to see. Then we have 2 BMWs in the top 7. BMW hasn't been that popular in ALR, actually. And then we got another one in 11th. BX the 3rd quickest BMW. Got 3 drivers who are all on the same esports team, Project Platypus, all in the BMW here as well. Actually, no, that's a lie. Jensen's not. He's on Team Falcon. I'm sure Perry would love to have him on Project Platypus, but that's not the case. Coleman's on Arix as well. He races in esports. Erotica's used to. Capale does race in esports as well for Pegasus, yeah. So, lap 1 is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to try and put my camera kind of in the middle of the field, because I have a feeling the top are just going to be racing normally. And then maybe from Zico down is where the danger zone's going to be. Might see some outrageous overtaking. Jensen not starting from the back like he said he would. Bit disappointing, but a good qualifying nonetheless. BX I think would be disappointed with his qualifying. Steedstra as well. Coleman in Eroticos, who's been in the top 10, down in 16th here, so he doesn't know this track very well probably. The number of McLarens on the grid is depleting pretty quickly. I think it was the most popular car. Now there's only 3 on track. Less than the Porsche, which I think started the season with like maybe 1 or 0 cars. I'm not sure. Maybe 2. So who's going to be my pleasant surprise outside the top 15? One of these statistically should finish in the top 10. I'm going to go with... I want to go with Regnix. He's like usually very consistent to get into the top 10. He was only about a second slower than P2, so with a consistent race, any of these 4, I don't think Capel could get into the top 10 even if everyone else crashes on lap 1, to be honest, with how far off he was, unless he finds the pace in the race. Obviously he can't have done any practice. Right, we're nearly there. Come on, lads. Get a move on. Yeah, Mustang's a good car. We'll be good to see how Peter does in the race. He's qualified well and raced. His races haven't gone very well so far this season. Here we go, round the final corner. We'll have to wait for all of the cars to round it before we get going. It's probably going to be past this start-finish line. Here we go, 1 hour around Kyalami is starting right now, and it looks like a fairly solid start there. But everyone else right behind is bunching up. We got a nice little battle for P3 into turn 1 with 3 wide. And it looks like Freivogel's going to try and take it. Everyone is trying to get around the corner. It looks like everyone's made it. Yep, everyone has made it. So let's go back to the front and see what everyone's up to. We've got Scanlon has dropped quite a few positions there. So he was the big loser out of turn 1. Freivogel's done pretty well. Zico is trying to hold on to his position on the inside here against the other BMW. That must be Jensen around the outside. Yeah, it is number 62. Turner's got past both of them, so great start for Turner. And BX is up 1 place into 10th. Coldman's in 14th. Eroticos in 17th. Reg is still in 19th. So at the top, it looks like Twardok and Peter have got away the best. There's half a second separating those. There's lots of action going on a little bit further down. Scanlon is coming under pressure from Turner here. Now a little bit further back, Jensen is going to try and catch up to them after overtaking Zico. You've got Tidswell in 9th, BX in 10th. Everyone is still very close, actually. The whole group is together. There's been no incidents at all. This is the tricky corner that we've seen some people go off at, and they've made it. Alright, let's stick with this corner a little bit and see. Everyone's making it perfectly. Oh, a little bit off track there for Roticos, nothing too dramatic. And this is it, that's the first lap already done. And yeah, apart from the start, which was quite chaotic apart from P1, it kind of settled down after that. There's already some big gaps forming. The top 3 are all quite evenly spaced out, and then pretty much everyone from Freivogel down is within a second of each other. Yep, everyone making it alright. But Pole must have been in some sort of incident, because he is now almost 10 seconds off the back. So despite my best efforts, we did miss that one, guys. I'm sure we'll find another fairly soon. But apart from that, yeah, 19 drivers all very, very close together here. Morrow's got a great start, so he's up into 4th now. And with his battle with Zico, who's lost that spot to Taylor at the start, this is looking pretty good for his championship. He's also ahead of Scanlon, who's 5th in the championship. So the only person who's close to him is Freivogel, who's right ahead of him here. So here's Freivogel, 3rd in the standings, or 4th, I can't remember, and Morrow, the championship leader, right behind him. But yeah, driving pretty solid here for Freivogel. He's right ahead of Morrow and Scanlon, so the 3 of them starting to pull away from the BMWs behind. Now what can Zico do? He's right behind Taylor. Taylor's right behind Turner, so Turner's struggling to keep up with the top 5 on that lap. Oh, looks like a little move between Eroticos and Regnick's right behind him. So Reg ahead of Capel and ahead of Pole, who had his incident. Trying to make a little bit of a move on Eroticos. Eroticos struggling to keep up with BX, who's down in 16th, so something's happened to BX. We saw some dust being kicked up by somebody as well, so definitely an incident there for BX. Has a lot of work to do in this race. Then at the top, it is looking still pretty close. Looks like Freivogel might be starting to catch up to Peter again. And Peter's dropped quite a long way off the back of Twardok now. The gap's 2.5. We're looking for 35 to get my prediction right. I think I'm on schedule to be spot on, to be honest. Looks like Freddy Cabras has a little battle going on with Dan. So Dan started well, he's in 11th still. And it looks like he's got some good pace around here. We got car number 95, Coldman's made a mistake somewhere. Let's have a look at his car. Is it battered? Ford Mustang must have had a spin somewhere. His car looks fine, so he'll be carrying on. Back into the battle at turn 1, the best overtaking spot on the track. And it looks like Morrow's under a lot of pressure here from Scanlon, if they want to actually show us the camera angle. But he's blocked off Scanlon there and keeps the position. And Scanlon is looking for a move. Maybe he's going to go for a dive bomb here. He backs out of it again. Would have loved to see a little dive. And this is good for Freivogel. Freivogel's got some breathing room for the first time in the race now. So I wonder what's going on with Morrow. Maybe he just needed to regain his composure a little bit. Stratton has a big train of cars right behind him as well. Here we go. Ooh, that was BX off the track again. He made his way up to 14th. And now he's going to lose a position or two there. He's lost one to Eroticos. Reg didn't get past Eroticos. He's actually losing a bit of ground now. Andy Cabras has been in the wars, has dropped back to 17th as well. Morrow's catching back up to Freivogel again, so it was just a momentary lapse for Morrow, and he's managed to start closing in again. Turner's just a second behind this lot, so he's not off the pace. He's just hasn't caught up to the pack basically. Taylor's looking pretty close. Is he gonna think about moving to turn 1? He's quite far back at the moment. Did you see his car just reset to the pits for a split second? That was weird. Ooh, a little bit of a lag, I think, potentially, with Jensen. So let's not stick with him for too much longer. But yeah, if he disappears, that might be why. Pole's actually done his pit stop now. And he's a full lap down on almost the entire field. Okay, let's see how that strat works out. Maybe he had some damage he needed to pit as well. Freivogel looking a bit shaky at the moment. Morrow's putting a lot of pressure on him now. Yeah, now we're going to probably settle into the procession part of the race. Let's wait and see. Everyone seems to have settled down a bit though. BX looks like the man who's struggled the most. Capel's actually stuck with the pack quite well. He might have Pole trying to unlap himself fairly soon though. And Coldman is slowly catching up to him as well. So lap 6 we're on now. Morrow must have got a poor exit from the final corner. Because Scanlon is looking, he's just having a look. Taylor looks like he's trying to position himself. Turner actually went defensive into the corner, which could open up an opportunity for Jensen, who gets a better exit there, but the next corner just comes too quickly for him. So he's not going to be able to get alongside. Oh, did someone go off track? Not significantly. Again, Jensen still applying the pressure onto Turner here, and Zico's and Tidswell are too close behind as well. And Freddie Cabras in the top 10. So Freddie's had a lot of opening lap incidents this season, which isn't like him, but he started this one really solidly. Something's up with Andy Cabras. He's now at the back. Number 23's brought out the flags as well. Who's number 23? Oh dear. That'll do it. Let's hope he doesn't get in the way of Cabras. He goes back off track to make sure. Very avoiding. So that is going to be Eroticos down pretty much at the back of the field there. Only ahead of Pole. Huge gap now has formed between Stratton and BX. Stratton had a big chain of cars behind him, so there's been some sort of incident that spaced everybody out. BX now in 13th, Reg in 14th, so he is benefiting nicely, as is Capel, from all of the mess going on behind them. Slim's already recovered to 16th. Steenstra's dropped as well, so we didn't see Steenstra in the wars. He's dropped to 17th now. At the front. Still nothing Morrow could do, but he's looking a lot closer than he was before. Turner still holding on and actually having to defend a little bit from Zico there. And there's no real fights happening a bit further back, so let's stick with Freiburg for a bit. Twadok's lead after 10 minutes is 6 seconds. So we're on for a 36-ish second gap between P1 and 2 by the end, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with the lapping of cars. That always creates a little bit of fun, at least. Yeah, not much going on. Freivogel looks a little bit more comfortable once again. Zico, yeah, everyone from Turner down is looking pretty close together. The gaps are opening and closing as the sectors go. There's little mini mistakes being made. It looks like Zico has made a bit of a mistake because Tidswell is putting pressure on him now. Into the final corner to finish 7th. Yeah, gap around about half a second. Not really enough to have a go. In fact, Tidswell's under a little bit of pressure with Cabras now. Got a great exit from that final corner. Actually changing his line through the corner. So let's see, what does this mean for the championship? At the moment, it's looking really good for Morrow to extend his lead. He's in first and he's got 4 positions between himself and Zico, who's struggling to make progress through the pack and is actually dropping back a little bit now. Potentially a sign of his tyres going off, or he's just started making a couple of mistakes on the last lap or two. Rotko's still in the pits, by the way. Capel all over the back of BX. Oh, well, this is interesting. BX probably hasn't learned the track properly. Obviously it's not on GT, this one. So from 3rd last week to 13th at the moment, with a huge gap to Stratton behind. 7 seconds now. So he's definitely going to be holding Reg up at this stage. Even though he was quicker in qualifying, I don't know if he's got a problem with his car, problem with overheating. Of course, Reg has actually competed at this track before in ACC, and this is BX's first time as he nearly loses it. And saves it as well. Someone is dropping down in the top. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe it was a lapped car. I just saw someone getting out of the way. Orotko's finally out of the pits, that's who it is. Anyway, BX getting overtaken now by Reg into turn 1. Are we going to see our first turn 1 overtake of the race? No, we're not. Even with that great run, BX still held it around the outside, and it's not going to be over yet though. He's having to go defensive again. This means he's going to be losing even more time to Stratton. Eight seconds behind Stratton now, so he's dropped another 1.1 in the last lap or so. Even Capel's catching up to BX. Yeah, so some drivers are definitely starting to struggle now. I think Peter's starting to struggle because he's getting caught pretty quickly now by Freivogel. We're only 15 minutes into the race. We've got Freivogel in second, Morrow third. Scanlon's a comfortable 4th. Turner has dropped off of the back of Scanlon now in 5th, so he's potentially struggling here. Roscoe's getting out of the way of everyone. Zico's been struggling a bit as well, struggling to keep up with the car he was trying to overtake earlier. The same BMW. And then BX definitely struggling. Here's Reg, he's going to finally get the move done. Is he? BX gets a great exit from the corner, and he covers him off again. Good defending here from BX, because he definitely doesn't have the pace advantage at the moment. Yeah, over 9 seconds now the gap to Stratton. That's in 2 sectors. Yeah, he's half a second a sector away. Oh, Capel nearly went deep there. Oh, he managed to make the corner. He's yeah, Slim's caught up to the back of this pack as well. So BX is the bottleneck here in P13, and it's allowing everyone in the top 12 to feel fairly comfortable. There's a huge gap now, like I said, 9.3 now and counting. We want to see what Morrow's up to. Morrow's still stuck behind Freivogel, but they are going to catch Peter fairly soon, I reckon. There's Peter right there. He had quite a nice lead, and yeah, clearly struggling with the tyres a bit now. So you could see Freivogel and Morrow overtaken before too long. Scanlon dropping off very, very slightly from this pack. Then we've got Turner and Taylor. Zico. Well, actually, he's looking fairly comfortable against Tidswell now. And Freddie, Dan, Stratton, all very close. And then there's this huge gap, nearly 10 seconds now, to BX. He needs to come in, really. I know there's 42 minutes left. Is this going to be like a 2-stop race for some people, potentially? Or did he just get his tyre pressures completely wrong? Because he was lapping quicker than this. We know he can put in a good lap. Something else is going on here. And his car doesn't look damaged. Yeah, not much happening there, so let's see the battle for P2 again. 6/10 was the gap at the end of the first sector. This is where Peter's going to start coming under some pressure from Freivogel now. It's quite demotivating when you've built up a nice gap to see it completely evaporate, and then your whole race outlook looks different. It turns into one of defense, and you have to really think about what you're going to be doing in the pits. But while he's thinking about that, he's actually gone off track, lost the 2 positions to the ART boys. He's rejoined ahead of Scanlon. What can Scanlon do? He's got the overspeed, and he's not going to have the dirty tyres that Peter has. And is he going to send it? He doesn't quite. Maybe into turn 1. Peter's all out of shape here. Last couple of corners now. And he's a little bit off track again. Oh, Scanlon sent it. He hasn't, he's backed out. This surely is going to be a go. Freivogel's too far ahead of Morrow for Morrow to have a go. This is where the action is here. Peter's just dropped a couple of positions, quite a handful of points there as well. Looked fairly comfortable on the straight. Turner just ahead of Taylor. Everyone, yeah, there's no real overtakes happening here. What about BX? Still ahead of Reg. We got Capel, we got Steenstra, we got Coldman making his pit stop now. So he's trying to go for an undercut on these guys. Is he going to come out in traffic though when everyone else gets round? So yeah, BX looking pretty composed here, even if he's not going the quickest. What's the gap now? He's actually catching back up to Stratton again. So maybe the tyres are coming to him a bit more. He's leaving Reg. Reg coming under pressure from Capel, so maybe it's Reg's turn to start struggling with the tyres. Or maybe he's just letting some mistakes creep in. Less than half a second separating second and third place now. So Coldman's leaving the pit, Slim, and he is going to be comfortably ahead of everyone. So this is going to work out really well for him. And if I was anyone else, I'd see that on the minimap, and I would respond to it, because a lot of people are being held up at this stage, and you're going to come out in some nice clear air if Slim's able to come out even ahead of Twardok here with the pit stop. Yep, it's good defending and it's good driving from Freivogel. He's coping with the pressure pretty well. Peter's regained his composure. Turner's not really under any threat this time. Neither is Zico. Reg is responding, so this is a good decision from him to come in really early. Looks like Steenstra's come in as well. Steenstra was stuck behind Capel. So these guys will be coming out round about where Slim is. So Reg coming out of the pits now, roundabout now it looks like. Let's stick with this little battle between Freivogel and Morrow. Like I said, overtaking's pretty difficult. It looks like Scanlon's got another little run on Peter as well. But he's not been brave enough to absolutely send it. He positions his car. I think he tries to get a bit of distraction going on with the car in front with the way that he brakes for some of these corners. But it's not working. Ooh, there's a little mistake though for Peter. And the bit of contact between them. Surely the cutback's on for Scanlon, and he's going to take this position. It's going to be a drag race now between the two of them. Peter's going to stay ahead, and he's not thinking about chucking it in. Oh, he is. Scanlon's going for it. He's not actually. Come on, no sends into turn one, but Peter outbrakes himself and Scanlon gets the position anyway. So it was a bit of cat and mouse, and that's how he got the position. And up to 4th place for Scanlon. It's really good for his championship. Needs to try and beat the two ahead of him now. So let's see what Taylor can do. Taylor promised me action. I want to see some. He's just been stuck behind Turner the whole time. Reg is, by the way, ahead of Steenstra by the looks of it, and Coldman is behind both of them. So good pit stop there for Reg. He is the first driver of everyone who's pit. Actually, let's see where he is on the track as well. Plenty of clear air. Loads of clear air. If you're losing time, if you're Jensen, you have to be pitting this lap. This is a great opportunity to jump. Turner, someone's in the wall. Who is it? That was Tidswell. That was a huge crash. Huge crash. Look at the damage on his car. He is going to definitely have to come in this lap and spend a lot of time in the pits there. I think that's his top 10 out of the window. He's already in 11th now. Let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to be brave and carry on? This is the pit window, so you'd surely come in. Yeah, in he comes. Car number 62's brought out the yellow flags. That's Jensen. What's happened to Jensen? He span before the final corner. He needs to be careful because he will collect some of these cars. And he manages to reverse off the track. And yeah, all that pressure is putting on Turner. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he was trying to go into the pits and didn't get it right. But yeah, disaster there for Taylor. He's lost at least 20 seconds. So where does that leave us? We got Tidswell in the pits with loads of damage. Andy's Cabras also in the pits. Reg is still with plenty of clear air here. Steenstra's been caught pretty quickly by Coleman, so he'd made a mistake because there was a bit of a gap between them. Coleman's looking pretty dialed in. They're in a race also to not be lapped by Twardok, but Twardok might come into the pits before that starts happening. Good defending there from Steenstra. Now, Reg is going to be ahead of the guys who've pit as well, Titswell and Cabras. Titswell's been jumped by Cabras, so he definitely fixed his damage. Gap between first and second now is 14 seconds. So let's see what these guys are going to do. They are carrying on. Don't want to pit at the moment. Scanlan's carrying on. Peter's carrying on as well. Bit of a gap to Turner. He has no reason to come in now. He's got absolutely no one around him after Jensen's spin. Freddy has dropped a little bit off the back as well. He's getting caught by Zico, who we saw have a bit of an issue. He's still in 8th place now. BX is recovering nicely to up to 9th. He'll be behind some of these guys though. Damn, Reg is going to overtake Taylor as well, because Taylor's only 1.3 ahead of Capale now. That's insane. So 33 minutes left, and it's not going to show us the gap between Capale and Reg. I really wanted to see that. Twadok's about to start coming up to these lapped cars. We've still got Coldman and Steedstra pretty close together, but Coldman's now ahead of Steedstra, so he has managed to get the overtake done. So great job getting an overtake done around Kyalami. Very difficult thing to do. No one's come into the pits this time. So Reg is going to start the next lap still as the highest placed guy who's pit, followed by Coldman, who came in pretty early. It's working out pretty well for him, but we'll see if that comes to bite him towards the end of the race. Top 3 carrying on again as well. Scanlan's actually in the pits, so this will be interesting now. He should have plenty of clear air. He's not going to come out in any sort of issues. Zico's coming in as well. Same applies for him. I think he could get Freddy Cabras in the pits here. BX is carrying on. Capale is carrying on as well. I think Twadok. Yeah, it's still lapping pretty solidly. I think it was 15 seconds the gap. 16 laps in, well 14.8. This is really the only close gap that we've got at the moment. But Morrow and Freivogel clearly not battling each other. Capale's still not able to catch Jensen, who had his big spin and looked like he was about to go off again there. He's got some serious lag issues, which he doesn't have in GT, so I don't know what's going on here. Behind BX, these two have raced a fair bit on Sunday nights. Nice to see them racing together on Wednesdays as well. So what's the gap of the cars that have pit? Scanlan's 29 behind Capale. He was about 8 or 9 last I saw. 9.4 between him and Zico, so he's looking fairly comfortable. Zico's got plenty of clear air to try and do something. Looks like Morrow's the next person to respond and come into the pits, and Dan is also in the pits from 7th, as well as Stratton. So everyone's starting to pile into the pits. We're nearly at the halfway point exactly, so it is the ideal lap to come in. Jensen doing the same. So let's stick with Scanlan and see if he does get the overtake done on Morrow. They weren't too far away. Morrow could have potentially been stuck behind Freivogel. Looks like Morrow's already on his way out of the pits, so he might have Scanlan covered here. Scanlan's going to be really quick down the pit straight though, so we have to see. I think Morrow is comfortably ahead as we hit the halfway point. That's quite a big gap to Scanlon actually, so he wasn't really under any sort of trouble. Zico is going to be ahead of Dan, who's coming out the pits. Dan's going to have some... I think this worked out pretty well for Dan though. He's behind Zico, he's ahead of Stratton coming out of the pits. Capel's coming out fairly high up as well, ahead of Regnix. Well, here comes Reg, it's going to be close between Reg and Capel. I'm surprised to see that. So Capel doing really well at the end of that stint. He's let Reg go. He was behind Reg anyway. And he's joined ahead of Jensen. So he's actually overtook Jensen in all that. That's crazy. Maybe Jensen... Oh, he's nearly lost it. Maybe he had some damage, or maybe he was just slow in the pits. Now we've got Twadok in the middle of a lot of drivers here who've made the pit stops. He's going to be putting laps on people, so that's probably impacted some of them as well. They've come out and had to get out of the way and lost a bunch of time. Only 6 drivers haven't yet pit. 2 of them are in the pits now, Freivogel and Peter. Yeah, he's not actually coming up to the back of anyone here. How's Freivogel doing? He's coming out of the pits now. Remember, he was battling with Morrow. This is really important for the battle for P2. Morrow looks like he's comfortably got it because look how slow Freivogel is coming out. Morrow is already braking for turn 1. Yeah, he's going to have P2 now. So again, a huge move there for Morrow in the pits, getting the overtake done without having to do it on track. Now, is he going to be able to put in some serious lap times now that he's got the tyre advantage? Twadok is finally coming into the pits, but he'll have lost a lot of time in this traffic, and Morrow hasn't had to overtake any cars here. So the gap was around 16-17 seconds. It might not be anymore once Twadok comes out. So we've got BX, we've got Cabras, and we've got Turner just happily carrying on here. Let's see if they come in finally on this lap. It'll be a no for Turner. Cabras is coming in. Cameraman's not paying attention there. Is BX finally coming in? Wow, he was a long way behind actually. No, he's carrying on. So what's Twadok going to do? He's still putting in fuel. Morrow's quite a way behind at the moment. And Twadok's going to retake the net race lead. Assuming he hasn't had to put any sort of fixes in place for any damage. I don't think he's even been near a car to have to do that. And Morrow's starting to gap Freivogel as well. 1.8 is the gap there. Anyone close? Capel is getting chased down by Steenstra, and he'll get chased down by Taylor as well. He's managed to do well in this pit phase, Capel, to get ahead of a bunch of drivers that are quicker than him in this race. Being in the top 15 is no mean feat. Steenstra may start getting impatient though. Steenstra was battling with Coldman, who's now 3 seconds up the road. So Capel just appearing right in between them two has really put a spanner in the works for Steenstra's race. Yeah, the gap between the top 2 now is 18 seconds. So Twadok actually still extending, despite having the traffic. So we're still on course for 35 at the end. Turner's come in finally, so that means BX is the last one who hasn't pit. He's about to put a lap on Rotikos here. And he's carrying on again, so Rotikos won't be too pleased with that. He's already down in 19th, he's going to have to get out of the way fairly soon for BX. Alright, let's see what Reg is up to. He's been caught by Coldman now. Having to defend P12. There's a huge gap up to 11th that BX caused a little bit earlier on. It doesn't look like anything's happening there, so let's join with Freddie Cabras, who was very close to Turner before the pits. Now Turner is slowly leaving the pit lane. Cabras is absolutely chundering down the pit straight here. It's going to be very close between them. There's Turner. He's not got the speed. Andy Cabras is not going to have enough. Turner's just going into the corner now. You can see the gap there. It's pretty tight. Quite big for Turner because he's in P6, and if he can, with his fresher tyres, start driving away from Cabras, he should have a smooth ride towards the end of the race, he says. Anyway, let's see what's happening again with Reg and Slim. Reg still holding up Slim. Capel just behind, holding up Steestra and Taylor now. Taylor trying things to get past Steestra. Needs to put on a bit of a show. He definitely had the pace. Remember, he was very high up in qualifying, Taylor, and had that spin. Oh, someone span. Who was that? It's Coleman. Coleman span. Oh dear. What's he going to do? Yeah, he is going to carry on. That is a few... Oh, he's going the wrong way. That's... I think maybe he tried the spin and he just kept driving forwards. I don't know, man. Yeah, if this guy had raced, I don't know, how many rounds could he miss and still potentially win the championship if he just comes in and wins every time? Maybe 6 out of the 8 would be all that's needed. I know you get loads of points for just turning up in ACC, because the grids are so big. So it would be difficult even with 100% win record to do that. Not this season though, everyone's been all over the show. No one's really had much consistency out of the full-time drivers. Which probably is because we've done 2 splits and we've only got the quickest guys in here instead of 30 drivers who are all highly diverse in the times that they can put on the scoreboard. And there's a rock cause off the track again. I thought it was someone else, but it wasn't. BX still carrying on in first place though. He's only 5 seconds ahead of Twadok. And he did end up putting a lap on Eroticos, who's really struggling now. Coldman has come into the pits. Okay. And BX does as well. So, what we were thinking before... Well, Stratton's made a mistake, because there was a huge gap between him and Reg, and it's only 4 seconds now. He's dropped right off the back of Paris. So if BX has done a great stint after everyone's pit, basically time trial laps, he should be ahead of Capel. He could be ahead of Reg, and yeah, the door's open now for him against Stratton, because Stratton's clearly made a mistake somewhere. Where is that car number 33? Steenstra's round, so his day goes from bad to worse there. Yeah, he's behind Taylor. He's going to be behind Tidswell and Cabras as well. So down to 17th for Taylor. Now, what is happening with BX? We said we're looking at Stratton first, who's coming around the final corner now. BX is moving in the pits. Looks like he's coming out of the pits now. BX might actually have enough. He's at the pit exit. He's going into turn 1, and he's up in 10th place. So a top 10 on the cards after what looked like some pretty shocking pace. Maybe, I don't know what was going on there, but he's found the pace at the end of the stint. Did a great overcut on a lot of people. It looks like he's got 8 seconds on Stratton now. Yeah, that's definitely not 8 seconds. It's 4 seconds. 4 seconds, still pretty amazing. So without Stratton's issues, he'd still be ahead of BX. He went off track somewhere for sure and had a mistake. Now Capel's got Jensen putting a lot of pressure on him. Oh, Jensen off the track there. Not going to be helping the tyres at all. And Freivogel is now struggling a bit. He's now dropped 3 seconds off of Morrow. Scanlon's half a second behind him. I think Coldman might have called it a day. Oh, someone else has reset to pits. That is Steestra as well. He looked like he maybe I don't know. I don't know if he had a mistake or he just decided to park it up and reset. Yeah, but let's stick with Scanlan. Scanlan's got another shot at another podium this season. If he could get past Freiburg, he needs to start putting the pressure on like he did, making his way through a little bit earlier on. Try and force the mistake. Yeah, Steenstra's DNF'd. He's disappeared from the scoreboard, so he'd had enough after his spin. Go on, send it, lad. Oh, he's going for it! Oh, he's completely outbraked himself there. I love him for trying it. I mean, you might as well. You're just going to catch back up to him in a lap or two anyway. You might as well try something a little bit out there. You've got so much time behind you, no one's catching you. Now let's see if Freddie Cabras can do the same. He's 3/10 now behind Turner. Turner's looking fairly comfortable there. What about Taylor? It looks like he's starting to catch up to Capel again after going on the grass a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely a track learning issue for Capel because he's putting in some good times clearly in this race that he couldn't do in qualifying. Holding some good quick guys behind it. He's not too far off of everybody. Not going to be a move there for Jensen. Ooh, Cabras off track slightly. And Peter's catching up to these guys as well, not too far back as well. So, yeah, P5 could go to any of them. Zico's 3.1 behind these guys. So struggling to keep up. And then Paris all on his own. I don't really talk about him much in the races because he's just quietly there. Kind of like the George Russell of ACC, apart from he doesn't get the podiums. BX might be able to catch him by the end of the race. 5.6 seconds. Let's remember that as the gap between Dan and BX and see how that evolves over time. Well, it's actually just been shaped by half a second there in a single sector, so it is looking good. So final corner, Freddie Cabras still looking really close to Turner. Let's go for it. Go on. Send it. No, he's way too far back to send it. Taylor's got past Capel somewhere. Oh man, and I missed it. And he's quite comfortably ahead as well, so Capel's must have made a little trip off track or something because Jensen's comfortably ahead. Okay. Let's stick with this one then and try and keep an eye out for any yellow flags that come out. Ugh. Right, 50 minutes left. It's all settled in quite nicely, and it's basically going to come down to who's managing the tyres the best for the end of the race. But hopefully we get some overtakes, or else I might have to think of some boring topics to talk to you about. Oh, someone's off, that's Paul, he's a lap down, really struggling there, and he's just let the cars go past to lap him in the Nissan. Love to see a Nissan on track. Someone else just coming around the final corner. He'll have to get out of the way for Zico there as well. So Capel's lost a position now to Tidswell, and he's now got Andy Cabras trying to get a move done, and he's going for it. Andy's going for it. Capel's dropping backwards. Maybe this is his pace finally catching up with him. The fast guys who've been in the wars have started to recover now. Gap up to 25 seconds with 15 minutes left. Still on track for my 35-second prediction. So Capel survives for now, down to 15th. You want a top 15 at least. You don't want to be outside the top 15. BX is now 4.1 behind Dan as well. So continuing to cut that time down. But will he be able to get an overtake done by the time he catches him? Scanlon's still a second behind Freivogel, so after his ambitious lunch, he's not really closed the gap much. Someone's off. It's Reg Nix, and he's made a huge contact with Capel and with Andy Cabras. Capel is at a standstill. Reg is reset to pits. Cabras does carry on. His car doesn't actually look that bad. Capel's trying to get going again. Oh dear. He's gonna just finish 16th now. Well, actually, no, he's gonna stay 15th because Cabras reset to... Was it Cabras who reset to pits? No, he wasn't. It was Reg who reset to pits. So they're gonna get that position because he's gonna have to serve the penalty for resetting to pits and then restart his whole lap again. So he's potentially... Well, he's definitely gonna be 17th at a minimum. It's a big incident there for Reg. My prediction to make it through to the top 10. He was up in 12th, very solid P12. He won't be finishing on the lead lap, that's for sure. Jensen's your new man in P12. So he was stuck behind Capel. He got that position, then he got the position on Jensen. BX has got past Stratton somewhere. Stratton's made a big mistake because he's 4.8 behind BX. No, ignore me. I was looking at the BX Paris gap, and that is still at 4 seconds. So it's starting to stabilise a little bit. Another 2/10 carved off there by BX. Got 12 minutes to make 3.8 seconds. It can be done. Capel's come into the pit, so he had a lot of damage. Oh yeah, look at that. His car bonnet is popping off. I don't know how Andy got away with it, but he's just carrying on now. He's going to get 14th by the looks of it, which is it's alright. On a grid with 20 people, it's not great. How's the gap at the front looking at 26 seconds between Moore and Twardock. Freivogel 5 seconds behind. Scanlon dropped another 4/10 off Freivogel. Then there's a huge gap down to Turner, 5.3. Started to drive away from Cabras, and Peter's not really keeping up as well. The gap here was around 3 seconds. It's now 4.5 for Zico, so he's struggling. Paris having a bit of a scruffy lap here. He's now only 2.9 ahead of BX. BX is hunting him down. Capel just leaving the pits now after his fix. Looks like a Rotikos is now in the top 15 somehow. Someone span. It's Jensen again at the final corner. He's really struggling with this last corner. Oh, don't hit the wall. Don't hit the wall. Yep, there we go. So Andy Cabras up a position. Yeah, Taylor down from 12th behind Tidswell and Cabras now. Tidswell just carrying on with the most battered car I've ever seen. Okay. So what's that done? Capel's down in 17th, just ahead of Stratton, who's about to put a lap on him. So he's been lapped by everyone down, well, in the top 10. BX lost a little bit of time to Dan. He's now ahead, above 3 seconds behind again. Let's just stick with BX. Let's see how this gap comes down. They've also got Pole ahead of them, who's going to start getting lapped fairly soon. BX again down to 2.7, so there's half a second in one sector. He needs to keep that up with 9 minutes to go. Ooh. Solid driving there from BX. Pretty neat and tidy lap. What's the gap going to be now? 2.9. So Dan is a bit stronger in that final sector every time, by the looks of it, which is bad news for BX because that means that Dan's probably getting a good exit from the final corner onto the back straight, which means he's going to be able to defend into turn 1 a bit easier in that AMG. Hello, Jill. We're on BX watch right now. He's trying to catch Dan. The gap's pretty stable though at 2.6. Was expecting BX to catch him a little bit quicker. If you want to see a good crash, go back maybe 5 minutes. Regnix, when he was around about 12th place, he has a big collision with Capel and with Cabras. Quite an entertaining one. Yeah, I think Reg has given up actually. He's still in the pits now. I think BX has given up on his fight of trying to catch Dan, at least for now. We've still got 8 minutes to go, so a lot can happen in terms of tyres falling off the cliff. What's the gap between P1 and P2? It's 28.7 seconds. Twardok's basically a full sector up now on Morrow, because we only saw that 28 seconds for a split second. Still on track for my 35-second prediction. Love to see it. Well, not really. You want close racing, but I could be smug about my predictions anyway. So yeah, good day at the office for Xbox players. 4 out of the top 5 are Xbox players, which is starting to become a common thing here. Poor Capel. Well, Capel's got no pace anyway, but he had managed to kind of claw his way into the top 15, which he would still be now without that mistake, especially because everyone else has made huge mistakes as well. Turner is on for a very, very solid result here. I think this was his 3rd ALR race. Had really good pace in Zandvoort, I remember. Similar to here, actually. I think there was some more incidents in Zandvoort. It was the first race of the season. This one has looked very neat and tidy. So yeah, Morrow on course to definitely extend his lead in the championship, because Zico's still struggling in 8th, and last time we did a little check-up, Morrow was in 4th, now he's in 2nd. So it's going to be a big gap that he's opening up. Obviously Davy's not competing, Freivogel's in 3rd, so he's going to definitely overtake Davy. Whether he can get Zico as well, we'll have to wait and see. And then Scanlon, again, definitely overtaking Davy. Potentially not overtaking Zico. Zico is in 2nd at the moment, so I don't think he's going to drop all the way down to 5th. Something's happened to Tiswell. He's dropped behind Andy Cabras now. His car already looked really battered, so we might have just added a bit more damage on top of that. So yeah, P2, 3 and 4, all in the championship hunt, all getting really good results here. Zico's the one with the... well, it's not even a race to forget. He's just not had the pace that he's shown in the previous rounds. But yeah, the GT season started. Maybe that's had an impact. He is leading Tier 1 in GT, P2 in ACC. It is a lot to have on your plate. And he races in esports as well. So that's a lot of really sweaty racing that he's doing at the moment. Still P8's good. Dan's on for one of his best results of the season, if not the best, in the top 10. He's now only 1.2, I can make that just 1 second ahead of BX. So BX has found the pace, he's picked it up again in these last 5 minutes. He's going to start putting Dan under some good pressure. Time's running out though. I think we may have 3, maybe 4 more laps. No, I think it's 3 more laps left of this race. Yeah, the gap's down to 7 tenths now. So Zico's absolutely on a charge. Not Zico, BX is absolutely on a charge. Zico's not on a charge. He's not charging anywhere. Oh, a little bit off track there for Zico. What's the gap? Maybe it's going to open up slightly. Here's the sector line. Oh no, he's actually gained another 10th, so... I wonder how Dan's tyres doing at this stage of the race. He's not losing any time really to Zico. It's just that BX is really on form since this second pit stop. The gap between Dan and BX at the first pit stop was at least 15 seconds that he's managed to gain back. Yeah, Zico's... I keep making that mistake. BX is right on the tail of Dan. Dan's already going defensive here. Interesting decision, because he's not under any pressure from BX. So I wonder why he's doing that. He's going to be out of position into this corner, so BX is going to get really close. In fact, it looked like they might have touched slightly. Now BX is fully alongside, and Dan manages to block him off here. Dan goes really deep there, keeps it on the track. We've seen a lot of drivers lose it there in the race. Now, if BX gets a better exit, it doesn't look like he got a better exit. Dan still decided to go defensive into turn 1. And yeah, he's losing loads of time to Zico here with all this defensive driving. Feels confident enough into turn 1. I still don't think we've seen a single overtake into turn 1, guys. Now, yeah, Dan's taking tighter angles. He's clearly a bit paranoid about a dive bomb here, and with good reason, because I think BX's going to do it. I think he's going to send it. Right, 1 minute 42 left. So yeah, they'll be able to finish this lap and get one more in. Yeah, he's struggling now, BX, to actually get alongside or anything. Dan stopped defending and he's just started driving normally again. So yeah, he feels comfortable now about the threat of BX, whereas at the very start he was definitely defending slightly unnecessarily there. Oh, there's been contact again between the two of them. Now BX has to back out and let him keep the position, which is a big shame for BX. So BX able to tackle that corner much better than Dan. Let's see if he goes for a move on the start-finish straight. He's maintained the closeness at least. Again, he just has to chuck it in. What's the gap? 0.3 of a second. Probably not enough to do a dive. So they might actually get this one and one more in, actually. Yeah, because Twardok is still... well, he's just about to enter the final couple of corners with 20 seconds left. Huge pressure Dan's under right now. Now this is where BX can do a dive bomb if he's feeling lucky. Dan goes defensive. BX is going to try and take a better line through the corner.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the leaders just started the final lap. That means these guys will finish this and get one more in. Drive-through penalty for car number 27. That's... Oh, man. Peter's top 10 finish is completely gone there. The only driver to get a track limits penalty in the race as well. Ran out of fuel on the final lap. Holy shit. Right, Morrow's only just started his final lap now. That's how big the gap is. It's still around 30 odd seconds. I need those extra 5 seconds, please. Right, what could BX do? Coming up to the final corners, this is where BX has had a lot more pace than Dan. And it's, yeah, got a much worse exit there. Dan's already going defensive again. BX deciding not to even try the slipstream. So let's join our race leader, who has a 30-second lead over Morrow as we head into the final sector of the race. He's got poled by a massive margin, and he's winning the race by a massive margin. Don't know what else to say. Maybe he needs to share his setups. Maybe he's found an Achilles heel that... but no, that's not the right phrase. Anyway, he wins the race. Congrats to him. Let's join with Morrow. Morrow's going to extend his lead at the championship, in the championship, by a huge margin. Tidwell crossed the line in P14, so he's the first of the drivers who were a lap down. Surprising to see Tidwell not on the lead lap. Taylor gets a drive through for track limits on the very last lap as well. That's not going to make a difference because he's the last of the drivers on the lead lap. So P2 for Morrow will be really pleased with that. Freivogel is going to get the podium as well. He's managed to hold Scanlon back for the entire stint. Scanlon had a good go of it at one point and then couldn't really get close enough after that. Turner actually closed in a little bit towards the end there. Then we've got Peter who's going to cross the line, but he's not going to finish 6th. Potentially 11th. Zico is going to... Yeah, he's going to finish ahead of Peter then, so he gets P6 in the end. So it's not the worst. Ahead of Paris, ahead of BX. Then Cabras is going to finish 10th, so he's had an issue at the end of the race. Has he run out of fuel? Well, he's 10th anyway. Stratton is 11th. But yeah, Cabras must have run out of fuel or had a huge crash in that final lap. We missed it, unfortunately. Is that Taylor coming into the pits to serve his drive-through on the last lap? I don't know. Cabras P12. Taylor's going to get 13th, and Reg is in the pits anyway. So that looks like it's going to be a lot. We just need to see what Taylor's going to do here. He just needs to go towards the finish line, to be honest. And he still gets the 30 seconds despite trying to serve it there. Doesn't make a difference for him though. Anyway, so yeah, pole win fastest lap for Twardock. Congrats to him. Morrow 30 seconds down. I did say 30 at the start and then I said 35 because I thought 30 was too low. Then Freivogel third, Scanlon, Turner, Zico, Paris, BX, Cabras, Freddie Cabras that is, and Stratton in the top 10. Good result for Stratton actually. So yeah, that's it for me. 2 more rounds of the season to go. Looks like it's Morrow's in pole position to get his 3rd title in ALR. So yeah, enjoy.